Hello, this is Ponder Darling My Busted Heart, and today I want to talk to you about getting your ex back. So, in the very beginning, right after Jefferson left me, all I wanted in the world was to get him back. So, I found all these systems that they were very comprehensive systems on getting your ex back, and tons and tons of testimonials. Now I looked at all of them, and the one that I really liked the best, because I really liked this person, I felt like he was really down to earth, and I looked through the contents of his system, and it seemed to be the most logical. I'm gonna post a link to him down below. And in fact, you know how I love people on the internet that will actually respond, because a lot of them won't. A lot of them do not respond to you, or they have one of their lackeys respond to you with some cut and paste thing. Boo. So this guy, I emailed him, and he emailed me back. And I love that about him. It was clear that he was emailing me, and what he said was very wise. So definitely, if after everything I say on this video you still are like, yeah, I need to get him back, there's a link down below. But I really hope that you will listen to what I'm going to say before you make that decision, because it's a really, really crucial decision to make. So what happened to me was, I emailed Chris and I said, I want him back, and I believe your system works, but I don't want him back the way he is. I want somebody who's going to be nice to me. So if I can't get him back and he's going to change and be nice to me, then there's no point in getting him back. And I know that I've said in my other videos, here's what happened. I'm human. I wasn't always, perfect, but nothing that I did warranted being dumped, let alone the way he dumped me. The truth is that he just left me for the next shiny thing, because he's an addict, and he just wants the next high. And the only time he was ever nice to me was when he was high. And that is a cruel reality that I had to face. That there's no way you can't. There are some people that just them leaving your life is a blessing, and it may not feel like it. Certainly you've seen, if you've watched my other videos, I lay it all out there. I cry. I miss him sometimes. I love him. I do still love him. I pray for him. But, in the end, I had to face the fact that, if I was able to get him back, and I probably could, spend the next 5 years convincing him to come back to me like I did the past 5 years. But why? It's a big, huge waste of my life and energy suck. There's this other, I'll post another video down there too, under the link to Chris, of this woman who also had a get your ex back system. And she used it on her own ex, and she talks about that. And then what happened was, a couple years later, she ended up dumping him because he wasn't really worth getting back. You don't want to be like that. You don't want to be one of those people that spends all that energy and time and money, getting this person back, and then you just discover that they were wasting your time, and they weren't worth getting back. You want to really think about it. You want to weigh it. You want to do pros and cons. You want to go back over the relationship. You want to think about how you really felt in the relationship most of the time. Certainly, you know, do some research on red flags. Like in my case, you know, I have no business having a relationship with an addict. You don't have business having a relationship with an addict. An addict cannot have a healthy relationship with you. Period. The end. Ever. So, you know, you gotta look at all those things. And if it turns out that you made mistakes and there were misunderstandings and that's why he left, and it didn't really have anything to do with some huge flaw on his part, then yeah, use the system, get him back. If you really believe that you could have a meaningful relationship with this person, a healthy relationship with this person, and that if you got him back, he would be dedicated to you, then do it. But, you know, I know that Chris would agree with me that, you know, first you have to assess whether or not they're worth it. And then, and only then, is when you start following the system. Because if you do it any other way, you're just going to end up wasting your precious life and being miserable. And, you know, it's a brutal truth. I know this is not something that people are going to want to listen to, but it's really, really important for your well-being and for your life that you really take some time to decide, you know, if this is worth it. There are people out there, I promise you, there are people out there who will love you and be committed to you no matter what you look like, what your age is, anything about you. There is somebody out there who is going to love you. You need to determine if this person that dumped you is in any way able to be that person. Hope that helps.